Hi there, it's Eve here from Mystic Rainbow Tarot. Thank you for tuning in today. This reading is about Chris Brown and Ammika Harris. So I am going to see how they are. Oh yes, please share, like and subscribe. And I'm just going to go ahead and start this reading now. And I'll give these cards a good shuffle. Just pick them all up. And we'll see what messages we're allowed from Spirit. So messages from Spirit about Chris Brown and Ammika Harris. What's going on with these two? A subscriber has asked me about these two and to do this reading. So Chris Brown, whoops, falling out the pack. Chris Brown and Ammika Harris. Chris Brown and Ammika. Messages we're allowed to know about Chris Brown and Ammika. 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 Chris Brown and Ammika Harris. So let's see what we've got. To be honest, I can't keep up with Chris Brown and his girlfriends. So I do hope he finds happiness and settles down soon. I'm sure his family would like to see him settled and happy. So I'll just put these to one side and we'll see what we've got here. So we have the beginning. So you can see that. Hopefully you can. Oh, and I see we have the universe as well. And these two have a meaning together, so I'll hold them both up for you. So with the beginning and the universe, which I feel relates to one journey is coming to an end while a new journey is about to begin. So this is about Ammika and Chris just trusting that their relationship together is moving in the right direction for the both of them. These cards have turned up in this reading to remind them that they are not alone and to have faith, just like a carefree child would, and to take the time to work on their relationship, and this will allow their relationship to fall into place and create give and take that will help support their relationship, because yeah, these two, I'm getting, they do love each other, but someone can be a bit possessive in their relationship, so they just need to tone that down because they don't want to get to a stage where they feel a bit suffocated with that. I do feel these two started as friends and things just grew slowly. Yes, I feel their love grew at a slow, steady pace that was quite romantic. So that's nice. Also, as this is now a long-term intimate relationship and they have a child, a baby boy, I feel like they have discovered a far more emotional side of each other that they hadn't seen before. So that's like this flower blossoming here on this card, because It's like they are really trying to make this work, and their tenderness and affection has increased for each other. I do feel they get along well most of the time together. I feel these two want this relationship to work out, and they both want security and some stability and the comfort of it. And Ammika would definitely want loyalty and would expect Chris to honour that. If he doesn't, I feel she would walk away. So I also feel this relates to Chris becoming more spiritual, and yeah, I do. And I think we can see that in this card here, where he's tuning into the universe here. So so he's becoming more spiritual, I'm picking up, in his everyday life. He's kind of has a sense of renewed youthfulness, and he is more aware of his gifts and all his talents. Chris is always seeking new experiences in his life, and he has been looking at his life from a new perspective. He is trying to live more in the present and trying hard not to focus on the past. I do think that Chris is exploring different approaches to spirituality to see how they might fit into his life. And I'm getting from Spirit that he just really wants to get a deeper knowledge about spirituality, but his friends and family may wonder what he's up to, but still he has to do what he feels is best for him to keep himself grounded, even if that means doing yoga and meditating, as it looks like in this card. And I feel in doing that he will bring this sense of peace that he so wants in his life. So those things help him, keep him connected. So that is good. And so what is the next card is the King of Trees. So so this represents Chris in the reading, and he is like a funny down-to-earth guy, and he's affectionate, and a lot of women think he's not only cool but pretty hot. I am getting that yeah, he's a very generous person with his loved ones and family and friends, you know, those close to him. What else am I getting? I'm also getting that he is smart and makes Ammika feel special. And I do feel they have a very good everyday type of communication with each other. I think he dresses well because he likes to look good. And I know he is very wealthy, but you can tell he is from the sort of quality clothes he wears. I feel that Chris has a lot of charisma and knows how to enjoy his life. So yeah, he knows how to have a good time when he's on his own. So then we have the Shadow, and this is an interesting card, as you can see there. We do have the horns there as well, so so I feel this relates to Chris in the way that he still has some things he needs to heal, and you can see this from the person in the card. He needs to master his fears and doubts and release them. He has kind of allowed himself to have some fears and beliefs about love. I think he may feel unlovable deep down inside, and he also has an issue of giving up his free time for a committed relationship. because this fear and doubt that Chris holds on to, this could prevent his relationship blossoming into that lasting relationship that it could be. I also feel like Chris is the sort of guy who likes to do his own thing in his own way on his own timetable. He's quite stubborn, but also surprisingly sensitive, as I don't see these two things usually going together, but with Chris they do. I feel also Chris has had his fair share of breakups, so he is just being very cautious, and he feels he needs to be certain in this relationship. I think in the past, when he hasn't been in long-term relationships, he has enjoyed having fun with different women for a while, and we have seen that with Chris. I am getting that he does think everything through first, and likes a stable and reliable woman. And I think some people don't know that about Chris. They think he just wanders around into these relationships with different women and hopes it's going to be okay. But he does a lot more thinking than any of these women know about things. So it's looking like a lot rests on whether Chris feels ready to commit yet, as whether this relationship lasts or not. I do feel that Ammika and Chris are close and supportive of each other, and they are good parents, and Chris has set his mind on being a good dad, because he also has a daughter, and he is a good dad to her. So this card also relates to the things, you know, emotions. Chris has pushed these emotions deep down inside of himself. He's still got some issues, repressed feelings and anger issues. They're probably from his childhood. So he has some unbalanced energy. And I do see he has been getting some help to release this. So he needs to be careful in his relationships that he doesn't make promises he can't keep. Yeah. Because he does need to first heal. As you can see with this card, there's some healing to be done here. Also, I feel his artwork is very therapeutic for him and a good escape, because this does calm his mind. And this also shows us just what a creative entrepreneur Chris actually is, and how he keeps surprising us by expressing his talents in different ways. So I think we'll see more from him with his artwork and other things. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we have the path and we have the Four of Trees. So I'll hold those up for you. So with these cards, I feel this relates to someone being dominant and trying to control situations. But I don't feel this is anything to worry about, because this may just relate to Chris taking the lead and organising plans. And also some women do like that. Probably fits in because they've got a family now and she's probably got enough to do. This is also about one or probably both of these two need to decide which direction they want this relationship to move in. And you see, this is this card with the path with the trees, and they're here and they just need to walk along this path and make the decisions. And there's the light at the end of the tunnel, which they can reach if they try. So they have got the things to do this, the tools. So This is also about creating and sustaining a good relationship, which does require, you know, some discipline, some self-discipline. It's not really just enough to just be in a relationship. You need to invest in it as well. So this is about them working on it so they both get what they want from it. This is about Chris and Ammika talking to each other about how they feel right now and what they want from this relationship. And really, basically, how they want it to turn out in the long term. So it's about not holding on to emotions and thoughts, but letting them out and sharing what you both need so you feel satisfied at the moment. I do feel this card has a message about trying to control his environment, which is futile. He has been trying so hard to make his life safe and comfortable through his material gains and goals, but because of this, he has actually been blocking the life he wants. I feel like he's scared of losing something, and I'm getting that he's afraid that some women are just after his money, and also he is reluctant to give up his freedom, and this is why he has avoided commitment and marriage up to this day. So I do feel he needs to substitute control with trust, and the tighter he holds on to his false security, the more he's blocking his happiness and long-lasting relationship that he actually really does want. Yeah, because he does want to settle with somebody. So I've just got my oracle pack here, and we'll just pull a couple of cards and see if there's any more messages about Chris and Ammika. Please clarify what's going on with Chris and Ammika. Any more messages about Chris and Ammika? Oh, so there we've got some cards. So that's at the top popping out. So let's see what we have here. Put those where you can see them. Just put this I'll just put that back there. So let's look at the first card that we've drawn here, and this is chemistry. So I'm just going to hold this where hopefully you can see it. So I feel this card has turned up in the reading because Ammika and Chris have a lot of chemistry, and this chemistry brought them together. It was kind of like a magnetic for them, and they have felt it from the beginning. So these two have a caring and passionate, intimate relationship, but the problem is with some trust issues. Now, Ammika is normally a trusting young lady, but it's because Chris has a history of unhealthy relationships. So for this reason, it has become more difficult for her to build up trust in this present relationship that she's in. They both value the importance of honesty, and Chris is afraid to fully open up and let her sink into his true emotional world. So this could well lead to problems in the relationship, because this could lead to Ammika making assumptions about Chris's behaviour and questioning his word because of his past history with other relationships. I also see Chris on the doorstep of a big shift, and this will bring change in their relationship, and it's already happening slowly, and the change will grow over the next few months, and they could easily land up in a fight, you know, arguing, because I feel that Ammika wants things to stay the same and just wants to grow this relationship. And why not? Because they love each other, they get on well most of the time, and they have a baby together, and they have feelings for each other, and they think the world of their little boy. So, but Chris is always looking for the right woman to settle down with, and likes to take his time to decide. So at the moment he is deciding and can't make up his mind whether he wants to settle down for good or not. So this is the thing, whether he decides to make that commitment to this lady. And Chris likes to make his own decisions and won't be persuaded by anyone else either. So, you know, if she tries to push this, it's not going to go in her favour. And Ammika does want a commitment from Chris, but literally she has to leave it up to him, because he's that kind of guy. He is a bit stubborn. So let's see what the next card is. So the next card is let your friends help. So that's a pretty card too, with the female friend there helping with the little one. So I feel this card relates to them becoming parents. Ammika for the first time, but Chris is already a dad, but he's got another child now, so which can put a strain on your relationship, even if it was very good before the baby came along. Most of the time when people have a baby, you are so tired from nursing and running around after that baby that you have a lot less time to spend on your relationship. And babies can take up a lot of your physical and emotional energy. So Chris and Ammika would be best to do things, I feel, that make each other feel cared for, and so that neither of them feels left out. This is also a time when they will need other people in their lives to help them and support them, like good friends who can be a shoulder to cry on. Because however close these two were before they had their baby, their lives will be changing, and they will need to adapt a lot and talk about things, because romantic relationships can become stressful and draining with a young baby. They would be best to tell each other what they want and expect from this changing relationship. This also relates to asking for help from relatives and friends for a break, so that they can have more time alone together to help their relationship. And I'm sure they will have talked about how they want to bring up this child and hopefully agree on this. Yeah, so let's see what the next oracle card is. Put that way you can see it. And so this is retreat, and there you see the couple going off together. So I'm getting that Ammika and Chris need to spend more time alone, just the two of them, so that their love can have a chance to blossom. It seems they've become confused and conflicted about the advice being offered by people close to them, so that would be their family and friends around them. They could really do with getting away together to refresh their relationship, and I do feel Ammika would like to take this relationship to the next level. So we may well see these two going on a vacation soon, and I do feel they are going to be bringing up their thoughts and feelings to each other on what they expect from this relationship in the future. I hope they will be guided by their own feelings and opinions and follow what they feel is right for them, rather than all the advice they've been given from close friends and family, because they've got to live this life, not other people. They've got to live their relationship. At the moment, I am getting that they are not on the same page about everything. They feel they may not want the same things for the future, so they've got a lot to discuss, and they need to come to that common ground and get to the stage where they're agreeing on what's best for both of them. Because there is definitely some confusion between them, because I do feel Chris cares and loves Ammika, but he is not making any moves to commit to her. And this is confusing and worrying her, because Ammika feels she has invested her time and heart, and now they have a baby too. And yet I do see, but you know, they do have some good times together as well, and they do share some attention and affection, and she gives Chris the space he needs, and has been understanding about the pressures of his career, but at the same time she is getting confused because she's not getting what she wants. So it's not fulfilling her enough, but because she wants commitment, but she feels she does give him what he wants, so she feels it's out of balance and one-sided. So if her confusion turns to anger, this could all blow up. And I do feel she has let Chris know she wants a permanent man and commitment. So I do see there being further talks about this, and she doesn't just want a boyfriend who can't make up his mind. But this does seem to be where they are at the moment. So put those straight. So things are undecided on basically what Chris wants to do. Ammika knows what she wants, so she's waiting for him to decide, and he's you know, he's still undecided and thinking about this in his mind, whether he wants to make a commitment or not to Ammika. So I really do hope that this relationship works out, and you know, I wish them all the best for the future. So that's the end of this reading. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all of my subscribers, the existing ones and the new ones that have subscribed. And so bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.